So, okay. So, I really, really liked him. And it took me a couple of months, like, to actually get the one that was in the friend zone out of the friend zone, because I really liked him. The 22-year-old, like, even though, like, I was 25. Yeah, I was 25. I really liked him. I really did. But he just didn't want it to go further. And then you forgot my birthday. Like, how we messing for this long and you can't remember my birthday? So it took like a couple of months, because like I said, I really liked it. I really liked it, buddy. So it took like what, 3-4 months for me to get the other dude out of the friend zone. So with the first one, we always use protection. He did not play that. And I was so happy, because at that time I was on the ring. Around that time. So the one that I got out of the friend zone, we was messing around for like a couple of months. Now, mind you, at the group home is nothing but females, so all of us get our monthlies around the same time. It's like you can always tell by who get theirs, who's next, or who's gonna have theirs next. So the one that's supposed to get her monthly after me gets hers before me. So I'm like, in my head, I didn't say it out loud. I'm like, wait, how did her monthly come before mine? I was like, maybe because now that I'm sexually active, maybe that's making my menstrual, act up. Because me and him did use protection sometimes, but when we didn't, it was always the pull-out method. So I'm like, I know I'm not. So I was like, okay, I'll wait. So then the person after her gets hers. I said, wait. This is not making any sense. Why haven't I got mine yet? And mind you, this time, I can't pay. None of my bills are getting paid on time. I'm still struggling paying my bills, working all these hours and all this stuff. Yep. I sure was. I sure was. When I tell you I cried. Because one, me and this dude is not even in a relationship. We're just friends with benefits. I'm not having no baby with this. No. So mind you, I don't tell nobody. I go and look up, the methods. And around that time, that's when they started the pill, where you could do it. You don't have to be in, if you catch it early enough, you don't have to be, you don't have to go to the facility. All you have to do, how they check you, you sign your forms or whatever, and you can do it at home. So I opted for that option because I didn't have, I didn't want to take any days off, really, because I knew my vacation was coming up for me to go back home for a little bit. So I was like, I'm going to just do that. Because mind you, I did it at the job. Because that's when I was working overnight. So nobody knew that I was and that I did all of that. So I remember telling the second oldest, like, right when everything was finished, like right when I, like everything was done and it was gone, and she was like, oh my gosh, did you really? I was like, yeah, but don't tell your older sister yet, because the reason I didn't tell her first was because I didn't want her to talk me into keeping it like she did the second one, because I still was struggling with 2 kids. I barely could pay my my rent. Like, a lot of times when my light was going off, we would just sit there in the dark and I would cry, because this reminded me of what I had to go through when I was, you know, younger, having lights being turned off. And, you know, I mean, we still have food. I have food stamps and stuff, but I couldn't keep my lights on. I couldn't put gas in my car. I couldn't keep it was just like, yeah, I'm having fun. I'm having, you know, but I'm still struggling. And like I said, I was really prideful back then, and I didn't want to, because my best friend, like I said, like, she always found people that always help her pay her bills, and because she was real forceful like that, I always felt like if a guy helped me pay my bills, it was gonna give him leverage to move in with me. I already went through what I went through with my with the first person. Like, I just wanted to not stay with nobody for a while, you know. But I eventually ended up telling her, and she was like, oh, I was gonna tell you to do that anyways, because the hell. So mind you, during the 6 weeks, because you gotta wait 6 weeks, then you gotta go back and, you know, do your checkup. So, and within the 6 weeks, I'm not trying to see him, because he didn't even know. But then he was like, what's up? Why we not seeing each other? So then I told him, like, you know, 6 weeks ago, like, I was pregnant, like, and, you know, I just think once I go back to my 6-week checkup, if we're gonna still mess with each other, we have to start wearing protection, because there's no way, no. And he got mad. He was like, don't you think you should have talked to me about that before you went to go do that? Really? No, this is my body. I'm not gonna, we're not together, one, and then I don't know you well enough to even have a baby with you. And I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, yeah, I don't want another kid right now. I just had one. Oh, he stopped talking to me. He sure ghosted the hell out of me. So I was like, well, I guess that was short-lived. So after that, I was like, yeah, maybe like this dating thing is not for me. So mind you, like, I had slowed down going to the church. So what I'm about to say is alleged. Everything is alleged right now. So there was this like big whole commotion at the church with the pastor's son. The pastor's son is married. That's why I said with the third oldest, because the pastor's son's wife was in her wedding, and she ended up finding out that the pastor's son was having an affair with several people in the church. Allegedly was having affair with people in the church. The way they treated that girl, especially my best friend's sister, the third one, because you didn't want none of us in your wedding, but you put her in your wedding. But then when she was going through that whole when the whole church was trying to find out who the pastor's son was sleeping with in the church, oh, they shamed her so bad. That's why I said these church people will always protect the person who's in the wrong.